Engen Volkswagen Cup time. The cars are being led off with our pace car. The Engen Premax pace car leading us off. Fantastic field of 20 here we've got today. Take you through a couple of the cars. At Brad Bedingfield, the Nashua car, very slow to move off the line. Brad Bedingfield moving off the line. Hopefully that Nashua car, I know he had a problem and he's pulled off. So unfortunately it looks like Brad, hopefully if they can re-get that car going, he can be a pit lane starter. As we haven't quite come under the starter's orders, they may still let him out. Hopefully his crew can get to him and give him a help. So the fastest man on track is Keegan Masters. He's also the current championship leader, but not to be outdone by the rest of the field. They're equally as fast. The rest of the Signature Motorsport teammates, Chris Shorter, Matt Shorter. Then we've got the glass-fit seat crack car of Jean Gerber, the first of the Masters. But what happens in Engen Volkswagen Cup, folks, is that we have a draw system. So the top 6 qualifying go into a draw, and then you choose your number. And Lady Luck smiled on Sean Leresve, the Alpine Motors Compendium Insurance car, and put him on pole position. So the leading championship master, Sean Leresve, he is currently in pole position. He will be at the start of this race. Next to him is Keegan Masters, and then the rest of the Signature Motorsport team, Matt Shorter, Chris Shorter, Brad Liebenberg, and 6 on the grid goes to Jean Gerber. If we go down the rest of the field as they make their way around to come under the starting order, 7th on the grid is the Universal Healthcare car of Jeffrey Kruger. Jeffrey Kruger's been out of motorsport for, well, Polocup racing for a couple of years, but has certainly equipped himself very well overseas. He's won the Polo R Cup in India. He's competed in the Sayed Cup. Fantastic talent. Second time racing. He joined us for the first time in Cape Town, and he's already put himself 7th on the grid, and he's quite confident that he's going to be there, and the car has the pace to mix it up with the guys. Yuri Swart, also of the Signature Motorsport team, in 8th place on the grid. Darren Oates, teammate to Jean Gerber, 9th. And rounding out the top 10 on the grid is the second of this Universal Healthcare car, Trevor Bland, also one of our Masters competitors. The difference between the junior and the Master competitors is your age. 27 years of age classifies you as a Master. Engen Volkswagen Cup sees itself as a junior series. It sees itself as a budget series as well. These Engen Polo TSI cars, sponsored by Engen Fuel, running Dunlop tires. And the prize for this year, winning the overall category, is going to be a drive in the GTC car. So you watch the GTC cars race later, you'll see the car driven by Matthew Hodges. That drive is up for grabs next year as the winner of the 2016 Polo Championship. And then there's also money for the various drivers. The cars have made their way around the track. They're going to come up and line up a very quick starting order, and we are away racing in the Engen Volkswagen Cup. It is 8 laps of racing action, lots of adrenaline. Get your cameras ready. Rubbing is racing, and if you want to see action aplenty here, these are the guys that do it. They do consider wing mirrors consumable items. We're just waiting for all the cars to come around, get the green flag from the back of the grid, everyone getting into their grid positions. And it is much excitement to have their first race here this weekend at the new Kyalami circuit. And a big thanks, of course, to Toby Fenter for getting the circuit as beautiful as it is. 5-second boards, we're waiting for the lights. Lights on. Lights off, racing aplenty. Very quick pull away by Sean Leresve. Little slow by Keegan Masters. Oh, we've already got action aplenty. That is Trevor Bland, car number M7. Johan Pretorius. Johan Pretorius been tagged on the start line and manages to get going. Medical car just stopping, yellow flags waving aplenty, but he has got that car moving. I don't know if he's going to be able to race. It was a very good punt, but we go back to the front of the race, and it is Sean Leresve leading off the Signature Motorsport team hounding him on his heels. John Gerber in the mix. And it is and as I say that, John Gerber has been tagged and is now at the back of the field, dragging his bumper. So the C-Track Glasswood Master also in trouble. Justin Oates and Daniel Germany, the SMD car. It's a mid-pack tassel. We're going to go through the front cars as we get them lined up. And wide for Gary van Heerden, also one of our Masters cars in the Nutritech colors, going flying off into the kitty litter. I know that he'll rejoin the race. He doesn't understand the word stop. Gary van Heerden has been racing polos. He took a brief break for a while and is back and joined us. And what makes it extra special is that he's actually racing with his son Ethan. Ethan, all of 14 years old, not nearly old enough to have a driver's license, but he's out here racing in the second of the Nutritech cars. And we're just going to go back and have a quick look at that start and the incident with Johan Pretorius. Sean Reserve, Keegan Masters pull off, and then there's just a coming together. Simon Need, I see, is there, but he's almost a little bit of a passenger. We've got the two Welsh cars and curb cutting there from Sean Reserve. Masters hasn't quite found his way, and in third place is the turn one pay-in car of Chris Shorter, followed by Trevor Bland, then Matt Shorter, Chris Shorter's younger brother, and then we've got Darren Oates up in the mix there as well. Unfortunately for John Gerber, dropping way down the field. So we've got Darren Oates is there as well. And just having a quick look there, that is Kuda Vizuri in the Volkswagen development car. And a touch with Brad Liebenberg. Daniel Germany, the SMD car goes wide. Brad Liebenberg, well, he looks like he's been caught in a sandwich there because he's been tagged on both sides. Quickly cut back to our race leaders. We're gonna replay that slide. Liebenberg gets it out of shape. Completely passenger. His car just moves, tags Germany. Germany gets pushed off onto the off-ramp basically, and waits for the traffic to pass before he can rejoin the race. So Germany losing out quite a bit there. And we're going back to the leaders. There we go. Sean Reserve and Keegan Masters. Rubbing is racing in Engen Volkswagen Cup, 100%. If you come back to the pits after a race and you've still got your side mirrors on, you weren't an active participant in the race. You didn't actually get in. You'll actually see, when we see a couple of the other cars later that have been caught in this, you'll actually see the rubbing of the tires on the side. The panels are dented in. And that is car number 38. That's Clinton Besaidnote, one of the Universal Healthcare cars. Clinton Besaidnote coming from karting. Clinton Besaidnote has raced internationally in Italy. He's taken part in the Rock World Cup final, which is actually on this weekend, as well as the Rotax Max final that was held. Lots of strong history of South African karters competing over there. As a matter of fact, Sean Reserve has competed in there. So has Keegan. So most of our front runners have come from a karting background, and that's where they learn their racecraft and their race skill. No change at the moment, unfortunately. Not too sure how many laps are remaining up here. I'm going to have a whisper in my ear to tell me. We'll give you an update. But Matt Short is starting to push hard on Jeffrey Kruger. Jeffrey Kruger, we know, can get up there. 6 laps remaining in this race. And as I say that, there's Jeff side by side with Matt Shorter. Keep an eye on the CompCare Universal Healthcare car. He's going to start pushing his way forward. The two Shorter brothers are there. And Keegan Masters has dropped down to third. It is Chris Shorter now up into second place behind the reservoir. Matt Shorter, his brother, is right behind him. Then it's Jeffrey Kruger and Darren Oates. Yuri Swart is in there as well. Jeffrey Kruger starting to close on Matt Shorter, and this is when you start seeing the beauty of the circuit. As wide as it is, if you stick to the pure racing lines, these guys they have to start taking the chances to get past. We got six laps according to the system that I'm looking on. So Sean Lereserve, Chris Shorter, Matt Shorter, Keegan Masters, Matt Shorter, Jeffrey Kruger, Jean Gerber, the second of the Masters. Jean Gerber needs to finish ahead of our current race leader, Sean Lereserve, for maximum points in the Masters Championship. And we go, we're looking at our leaders again, our race leaders, the Alpine Motors car of Sean Lereserve, the Payne Turn 1, the Signature Motorsport of Chris Shorter. Lereserve's gone wide, he's cut the corner, and luckily for him, Shorter just wasn't close enough to make it count. But we've also seen rims that have been damaged today from cutting these corners at the Kyalami Grand Prix circuit. Folks, if you're out there and you want to join us live, hashtag Radio Kyalami, and we're going out live on Facebook and Twitter. So unfortunately, Clinton Besaidnout out of this race, and he's limping his car very sadly back to the pits. So that is the Universal Healthcare car out of this race. Clinton Besaidnout, Johan Pretorius, Brad Benningfield, and possibly Justin Oates as well, all out of this race at the moment. So I told you it'd be incidents and accidents. Unfortunately, one or two we haven't seen on camera, but there's certainly been fun and games. 5, 6, 7 down the road. Darren Oates currently in 6th place. Behind him, Yuri Swart. Jeffrey Kruger looking for a weight class. They're lapping in the 209s, which is actually quite fast. These Polo TSI cars really do go. The battle for first is 0.387, and that is not even a blink of an eye. The slightest miss in the gear change, just cutting it late, and as I say that, Shorter pulls out wide to have a look to see if he can go around the outside of Lereserve, and it's not 0.38 seconds now, it's not even a sneeze. The gap between them is, it's the size of a number plate, basically. Down the mine shaft they go. This is flat out taps. Into the little kink they go. Shorter's looking up the inside. He's trying to power. Lereserve takes the wide line, cuts his nose off, holds the racing line. But Shorter's, Keegan Masters is right there. So if the two of them touch, Masters is back in the lead. And I'm almost tempted to say Masters wants to push straight through. And as I say that, we've got a new race leader, Chris Shorter. And Lereserve is down to third. Is he? No, not yet. He's down to second. Masters is looking though. And who's got? Jeffrey Kruger's gone straight instead of turning left, and is coming up and rejoining the track very close, straight into the wall there for Jeffrey Kruger, losing out quite a lot of positions. We'll see how he's moved down as they cross the start line. Lereserve is not giving up though. Shorter's does he? Lereserve is taking a very wide line into that corner and cuts in just in front of Masters. It is Shorter for the lead. Lereserve side by side. Lereserve is going to push, and Lereserve has gone back into the front. We've got Lereserve back in the Alpine Motors Pepper Racing car, and Shorter's side by side. We've seen them fit 5 cars abreast, but Shorter's going to take the left-hand corner. Pay in turn 1. Alpine Motors side by side now, and side by side for the lead. They've still got both the mirrors. Fast, and when I say look at them, it's a 4-way battle for the lead. It's not 3 anymore, it's 4. It's Shorter in front now. Lereserve down to second. Masters, I said wing mirrors, is one that's just flown off. Right behind them though, we've got Matt Shorter. So it's 2 brothers, and in the sandwich, it's Lereserve and Masters. 4 laps remaining. 4 laps so remaining. It's 2 brothers, and we're going to see the touch in the sandwich. It's Lereserve and Masters. 4 laps remaining. Okay, so we're just having a quick replay of what we were watching a little bit earlier. That almost a touch between Lereserve and Chris Shorter. We're going back to live. This is very, very tight between the top 4. The laps are counting down. The excitement's building. And Lereserve is cutting off Le Reserve is cutting in front of Masters. Masters thinks he's found a way past Le Reserve. Keegan Masters also phenomenal international karting experience. Oh, as they all come onto three wheels, as they all clip the curb, it looks like synchronized swimming, but they're so well timed between them as they clip the curb. Le Reserve's gone wide on the last corner again. He drops down to 4th place. He misses that corner every time, and this time it's cost him 2 positions, down to 4th. Can he get past Matt Shorter and Keegan Masters and catch Chris Shorter? You can't let Chris Shorter get away. We've got 3 laps remaining in this race. All the excitement's here, but I tell you what, a little bit further down, there's a 3-way tussle for 5th place. And that's Darren Oates, Jeffrey Kruger, and Yuri Swat. So it's not only at front where the close racing is. Have a look over here. This is 4, 5, and 6. Darren Oates, Jeffrey Kruger. Well, 6 to 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Trevor Bland's coming up as well. So you've got 2 Universal Healthcare CompCare cars. And in the mix there, we've got Yuri Swat from Signature Motorsport. And we've got Darren Oates in the C-Track Glassfit car, as well as Yuri Swat. But this is the battle now. We've got Matt Shorter, Keegan Masters, Chris Shorter. That is our front 4. Our front 4 pushing really, really hard. And when I say pushing, I mean that they can't have the slightest mistake or hesitation with the gear changes, with those gearboxes. 5, 6, and 7, just as tight. Shorter breaks early, forcing everyone to brake just as early. Le Reserve is looking for that line that he used, a very unconventional line that he seems to find, and it just pushes him to the front. Down the mount shaft they go. Here they come. Quick left, quick right. Slightest mistake. I'm holding my breath because I'm expecting chaos to erupt at any second here between them. We've got Shorter, we've got Masters, we've got little Shorter, Matt Shorter. The Reserve falling off the pace just a little bit. The battle is slowly developing in a 3-way. Le Reserve needs to come up closer, and we've got 2 laps left when they cross the start-finish line now. Le Reserve has held the line, he's held that corner this time round. Okay. Car 21. Car 21, unfortunately, out, and that is young Ethan van Heerden. So Gary van Heerden's son, Ethan van Heerden, unfortunately out of this race, sitting watching the rest of the racing. And as I say, Le Reserve's dropped down. He's dropped down to such an extent that he's in danger of losing another position to Jeffrey Kruger. Jeffrey Kruger's on. So it's a Signature Motorsport 1, 2, 3, and Keegan Masters is looking to overtake. He's looking to move back into the front. It's the pay-in turn 1 car of Chris Shorter out in front. They seem to have broken Le Reserve, possibly a little bit of a hiccup. It is very, very hot out there. It's very hot out there, and these cars do get very warm. And obviously, they're racing cars, folks, so there's no luxuries like air conditioning. Okay, air conditioning takes power away from the engine. There's no such luxuries. These are stripped out racing cars. They are filled with, however, absolutely normal Engen Primex pump fuel that you can buy at any petrol station. That is what they run at. There's no special additives or juice that we add to it to make it extra potent. This is your standard Engen Primex pump fuel. It's a pay-in turn 1 car of Chris Shorter, and this will do his championship aspirations a lot of good. He had a disastrous outing in Cape Town a couple of weeks ago. Nothing went his way. So this will do him a lot of good and really get him going for the last few races in the season. This is round 7. We've got one more round in Swartkops next month, and then the champion will be decided. And I will tell you that it is too close to call or even predict as we see the cars going onto their last lap. So 1 and 2. Has Masters found his way onto the last corner? Do we have a new race leader across the start line? I want to say not just yet, but I might be wrong. No, it's not just yet, but it's not by much. There is an overlap there. Let's have a look, see as they're going into this nice, long, sloping, high-speed corner. Is it Masters? Is it Shorter? Is it other Shorter? Because Matt Shorter is right there. Has he found it? Is he going to drive around the outside? Masters is trying. He's trying really hard in his champion Engen car. No, not yet. Matt Shorter's gone a little wide. He's taken the corner wide. He's scrubbed off a little speed, but he's brought it straight back. So you've got Pay in turn one. You've got Champion. And right behind them, you've got Universal Healthcare and Le Reserve. So Le Reserve is struggling a little bit. Hopefully he can keep Darren Oates and Yuri Swat behind. This is the last lap in the countdown stages. What is Chris Shorter going to do? Is he going to be able to hold that hard-charging teammate of his behind him? Remember that in qualifying, Keegan Masters was the fastest car out on track. So we know that he's got a strong car. We know that Signature Motorsport have prepared that car. And when you've got Sean van der Linde as your race engineer, you know that car is tuned to perfection. So we've got Signature Motorsport at this stage, 1, 2, and 3. The question is, how are they going to finish at the podium? Because the fact that they're going to finish 1, 2, and 3, I don't think is in dispute at this stage. Behind them, though, we've got Jeffrey Kruger and Sean Le Reserve. They're going to finish 4 and 5. Down the mountain shaft for the last time. Shorter, Masters, Shorter. Any change? I think he's going to wait for the last goal. Oh, I say that, and we've got a new race leader. I don't know what happened to Chris Shorter there. Does he hold it? Is he going to hold it, or is Shorter going to drive around the outside? Shorter's going to drive around the outside and reclaim the lead. I'm not quite sure what happened there, but Shorter's found his way back to the front. Matt Shorter tries to put out. No, Keegan Masters is having another look. Well, we're coming to the flag, folks, and at the moment it looks like Chris Shorter has driven a superb race to get to the front and take a very well-deserved checkered flag. Unlucky for Keegan Masters, but he'll be happy with the points in second place. And then we've got Keegan Masters, Matt Shorter, Jeffrey Kruger, Sean Le Reserve. I see Keegan Masters down into 5th place on my timing screen. I'm not quite sure. Oh, there we go. There we go. Second place. Okay, just a quick blip. Chris Shorter, Keegan Masters, Matt Shorter, Jeffrey Kruger, Sean Le Reserve. I think he's going to Yuri Swat, Darren Oates. And this, we're just having a quick replay of Keegan Masters just having a try to get to the front, but Shorter took it out wide so he could close up really tight to take the corner and line himself out. Unfortunately for Masters, does he hold it? Not able to drive around the outside. Or is Shorter going to drive around the outside? Shorter's going to drive around the outside and reclaim the lead. And there we go. Hats off and high fives from our Kyalami marshals, congratulating our Engen Volkswagen Cup competitors on a superb race. Certainly had lots of fun and excitement. A little bit of damage and panel beating, as we can see, to Jean's Haber's car, one of the few that is going to have some body work. He's just stopped to pick up his bumper. It's a white bumper. You know, that's the way we make them. They can go on any car. So as long one size fits all. Our racing rules actually state, folks, that the car has to be dressed in full race trim for the next race. So Volkswagen Motorsport actually bring down a limited supply of parts to make sure that all cars can put themselves back together after a race. Okay, folks, from my side, we're going to go back to a bit of music. Fantastic racing. Congratulations to a well-deserved Chris Shorter for a fantastic race. From my side, I will be back a little later, but from now, let's go back to some music. Thanks.